Hello, hello, howdy, hi, and hello. You're back in my humble abode. I didn't think you were gonna come today. I really didn't. No, I did. I thought so. Hi, welcome back. Come on in, take a seat. You have your spot. Yes, I know. Go get comfy. I'll get you some hot chocolate or a nice cup of tea or whatever you like. Get warm, get cozy in my little nest. And welcome back to Noah's Nest. A short adventure as you grow up, as I teach you the different classes and different subclasses throughout D&D 5e. So, today we're going by the cultist, the Lord Lover, the God Tickler. I don't know. We're going with the Cleric today. Ooh, it's thundering outside. I must have said something bad. Cleric is the class where you are gaining powers from your deity that you choose. So you'll be able to fight the undead, sinful people, and helping your god along the way. They are mainly support / healers, but based on the subclass that you do or the domain, you can be very powerful with just a melee weapon. As usual, I will go through each of the levels that is provided. Then we'll go over the domains / subclasses, and I'll say my spiel at the end. Ready? Alright. First up, level 1, you get spellcasting. You get spells, and you get more spells as you level up. And right off the bat, you get to choose your domain. That's your subclass, and you'll gain more stuff as you go. At second level, you get Channel Divinity. One of the options depends on which domain you choose, but each domain gets Turn Undead. And Turn Undead is where you can make any of the undead around you within 30 feet of you make a saving throw. And if they fail, they must turn, aka run away, or pretty much get as far away as possible from you. At fourth level, 8th, 12th, 16th, and 19th, you get your ability score improvement, which is ability score, one of them by 2, or 2 ability scores by 1. Or you can say fuck that and take a feat. Level 5, you get Destroy Undead. Now this changes as you level up as well, where you're able to destroy higher undead threats as you level up. So 5th, it has to be a half or lower. 8th, 1st, 11th, 2nd, 14th, 3rd, and then 17th, 4th, or lower. And then the last one in this, last 2 in this normal beginning class. At 10th level, you can call upon your deity to ask for help or ask aid for whatever reason that you have. You have to roll a certain number for your D100, and if you succeed, it takes 7 days. If you fail, it resets after a long rest. So it's kind of, if you succeed, this is great, but you'll have to wait. If you fail, just sleep it off, try again in the morning. And the last one, at level 20, you can call the Divine Intervention and it will succeed automatically. You won't have to roll. It does have optional class features though. At first level, they have more cleric spells from Tasha's and Xanathar's Guide. At second level, they have Harness Divine Power. It's where you can use your bonus action to regain a spell slot, 1 spell slot, that can't be higher than your proficiency bonus rounded up. You gain it multiple times as you level up, so at second level you can get it once, 6th level you can get it twice, and 18th level you can get it thrice. and you regain them after a long rest. 4th level is Cantrip Versatility. Whenever you level up and the class grants you an ability score improvement, you can replace one of your class cantrips with another one from the Cleric spell list. And the last one is Blessed Strike at 8th level. It replaces Divine Strike or Potent Spellcasting. It's where whenever you deal damage through a cantrip or weapon attack, you can deal an extra 1d8 radiant damage once per turn. You can't do it more than once if you have multiple attacks. I might have ticked off the gods today, I really do. Let's go to the domains / subclasses. First one is Arcane Domain. This is where you are focusing on the actual different types of magic, from both destruction and creation. You are following a god that is pretty much neutral, knows a lot about magic, and you are just trying to do as much research as possible to gain more of these spells. You get different amount of spells. You can gain more cantrips and gain an Arcana spell. One of the channel divinities is Arcane Abjuration. Instead of just undead, it can affect other types of creatures, not just undead. But higher levels, you can do a different type of spell. You can restore hit points after you cast a spell and regain them from the type of spell slot, or you can gain more domain spells and prepare them. Next one is Death Domain. This is where you are pretty much more evil-esque, where you are trying to raise undead, make people be more scared of death. You're more of a necromancer. You're following a lich, maybe a vampire. Same thing with the different domain spells. You'll gain proficiency in more heavier weapons. You can learn more necromancy cantrip spells, and it will affect more people. Your channel divinity in this one is Touch of Death, where you can do extra necrotic damage, where it deals 5 plus twice your cleric level. You can change your damage and ignore resistances. You can deal more damage per attack, or if you cast a certain spell, it can target 2 creatures instead of 1. Next one is Forge Domain. This is where you deal with metals and blacksmithing, creating more items, and focusing on defeating evil through the forge. Same thing, more spells that you can choose from. You gain proficiency in heavy armor, gain more AC. This channel divinity is Artisan's Blessing. This is where you can create some type of item if you have some free time, like a weapon, armor, ammunition. You can gain more AC and be resistant to some damage, or even be immune and be resistant to a lot more damage. Next is Grave Domain. This is where you are kind of like the judge, a reaper that decides if this person lives or dies. It is keeping the world flowing, not allowing people to keep wandering, but also destroying the undead so they can no longer suffer. More spells. You can instead restore the highest number of hit points instead of just rolling the die. You can detect undead from a wider range instead of just having to see them. This channel divinity is called Path to the Grave. You can curse a creature, and whenever you hit the creature with the next attack, it becomes vulnerable to that damage, and then it will end. You could also make critical hits not become critical hits anymore for a number of times, or you could regain a lot more hit points from enemies' hit dice. Next is Knowledge Domain. This is where you will learn, you want to learn and understand more than anything else. You'll be going through libraries, universities, you'll be talking to professors, the all-knowing wizards. Anything that helps you learn more is where you probably want to go. Same thing with spells. You can gain more skills. Your channel divinity for this one is Knowledge of the Ages. This is where you can choose a skill or a tool and become a proficient in it for 10 minutes. And you will also gain another channel divinity called Read Thoughts. This is where you can access someone's mind, and if you want to dive through more, they'll have to make a wisdom save, and maybe you can tell them to do certain things if they fail a save. But you could also get visions from your past that surround you. Wow, some of them could help you understand someone's past, or can help you see significance in different events, or see different battles through the past from your deity. Next is the Life Domain. This is where you will be taking all those cleric healing spells, be promoting life, keeping everyone healed, making sure all the wounded and sick are all cared for, making sure death will never come to them anymore. Same thing, you got the spells, but you can also gain proficiency in armor. You can heal better through different healing spells. This channel divinity is called Preserve Life. You can use this to restore hit points times 5 of your cleric level in a 30-foot area, which you can divide them however you want. You can heal yourself while you're healing others, or you can even heal the maximum instead of just rolling. Next is the Light Domain. This is where you want to keep the darkness away. You are using the sun, brightening up the sky, keeping the darkness at bay, while chasing lies and burning away darkness. Spells, you can gain Light Cantrip. You can also impose disadvantage on attack rolls by blinding someone. This channel divinity is called Radiance of the Dawn. This is where you can make someone make a Constitution saving throw. If they fail, they'll take radiant damage, or half on a succeed. You can increase the size of your disadvantage area, or you can make the sun actually be right next to you, causing everyone in the area to deal fire or radiant damage while imposing disadvantage on them. Next is the nature domain. This is where you are deep in the forest. You are protecting the forest. You are kind of like a druid of the sort, but you are more following a deity than just following the nature itself. You'll be able to know secret tongues. You'll be able to probably hunt better in the forest than almost anyone else. Spells are all there. You can gain another cantrip and gain skills, proficiency in more armor. This channel divinity is called Charm Animals and Plants. It says in the name, if a beast or plant fails a wisdom saving throw, it becomes charmed by you and it deems you friendly. You can also make some of your allies gain resistance to certain types of damage, or you can even make creatures that are already charmed by you physically help you and move. Next is order domain. This is where you follow the law of different societies or philosophy. You want to kind of keep everything in the rules, obey the law, and focus on protecting the law. You gain more spells, you gain proficiencies and skills, you can make your allies do attack not even on their turn. This channel divinity is called Order's Demand. This is where you can make someone roll a saving throw and they can be charmed, or you can make a spell happen to be a bonus action instead of an action casting time, or you can make your enemies take more psychic damage when they're cursed. Next is the peace domain. This is where they want to be friendly with everyone, be kind-hearted, don't want to start or cause any conflict, just want to keep the peace, and treaties will be suffice for these clerics. Spells, skills of your choice. You can bond with some allies where they can add a die to their rolls or checks or a saving throw. This channel divinity is called Balm of Peace. You can use your action to move your speed without provoking an opportunity attack, and you can restore a number of hit points equal to 2d6 plus your wisdom modifier, but it can only affect them once whenever you take this action. Some other stuff you can get is if someone takes damage, you're able to swap places with them, and instead you can take, or they can take damage instead of you, or farther range, and you could be resistant to damage. Next one is Tempest domain. This is where you are following the sky, the storms, the sea, including like lightning or thunder, some fire gods even maybe. They focus on physical strength or even courage. Spells are there. Proficiency in more weapons and armor. You can use your reaction to deal more damage instead of anything else. Your channel divinity is called Destructive Wrath. This is where you can use, if you deal damage with lightning or thunder, you can make it maximum damage instead. Other stuff you can get is you can move people back if you deal certain damage, or you can even gain a flight speed. Next one is Trickery Domain. This is where you are mischievous. This is where you are a sneaky little gremlin and you are challenged to be accepted by thieves, gamblers, and your god. You gain spells. You can gain advantage on stealth checks. Your channel divinity is called Invoke Duplicity. This is where you can make a copy of yourself perfectly, move it around if you want. You can cast spells through it, or you can have advantage with your illusion. Another channel divinity that you can get is Cloak of Shadows. This is where you can become invisible, and you'll become visible again if you attack or cast spells. Or some other stuff. Something else that you can get is making your range for your channel divinities even farther. Next one is Twilight Domain. This is where the darkness, the transition from light to darkness, is your happy place. This is the time where that small gap where it's going to dark is your rest, but darkness can also bring evil, following more horrors, more spells. You could gain proficiencies in more armor and weapons. You can gain a more farther range of dark vision. You can help someone, gain advantage on initiative rolls. The channel divinity is called Twilight Sanctuary. This is where you can gain temporary hit points and you can cause an effect to end, that being charmed or frightened. You could also gain a flight speed for a certain amount of time, or you can cause a ball of protection for you and your allies. And last but certainly not least is War Domain. This is where you want to fight a lot. You're not in the back healing or slinging spells. You want to be up front. You want to deal damage. You want to see blood. This is where you will succeed in destruction. Spells, as usual, you could gain proficiency in martial or more armor. You can make an additional attack. The channel divinity is called Guided Strike. This is where whenever you attack, you can gain plus 10 to your roll. Or another channel divinity is called War God's Blessing. This is where you can grant someone else plus 10 to their roll. You can also, at farther levels, gain resistance to more damages. And that is everything with the domain. That was a lot. That was 15 or 14. I don't know. But in my opinion, this class is a very wide variety class. You can be almost anything that you want. If you want to focus on fighting, be a war domain. Be a trickery domain. If you want to be more healing and being in the back, be the peace domain or the life domain. You can be almost anything that you want, flavor it however you want, and still be very, very powerful. It might have bad cantrip spells, but there are ways to get better ones by taking certain feats. But anyway, in my opinion, I would probably rate this class an 8.5. It is very good. You are able to change your way of playing and not having to be weakened by the different subclasses. So, that's it. That's all I got for today. As usual, I got a couple shoutouts. First one is Cody, Killer Mimic Merch. He's going off. He's making more designs for you. Might take a little bit, but he's still making more designs for you. The design that's still out should still be in his shop. You can check him at Killer Mimic Merch, Facebook, Instagram, I believe Twitter, I'm not sure. But go check him out. Go buy his stuff. Very, very nice quality. Very nice. The next one is Hope K Thrifts. She resells trendy clothes to sustain the environment in a cheap and fashionable way. All those trendy brands like Lululemon, Free People, Converse, and so much more. Everything that she sells is only $20 or less, so you're already getting a massive, massive steal. You can check her out on Poshmark, Depop, Mercari, Instagram. They are all at Hope K Thrifts. And also, if you want a special discount, message her with the code CHEAPTHRIFTS so you can get 10% off on your next purchase. And last, but certainly not least, it's us. It's Creatures and Cantrips. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram. We're on TikTok too, at Creatures and Cantrips. Like, share, comment, subscribe, do whatever. You are in my home. I allowed you to be in here. But anyway, thank you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful night, even though it was just storming outside. Get cozy. I bid you all a very, very beautiful